We bring you USPHL Premier Division Hockey on a Thursday evening as the Florida Eels Premier Team heads across town to battle the Florida Junior Blades. Good evening and welcome into the Florida Eels Broadcast Network. Nick Rush giving you the play-by-play from Hertz Arena in Estero, Florida. Tonight, the Eels search for redemption after hosting the Junior Blades this past Sunday in a game where Brett Cameron scored the game-winning goal for the Blades with 1 minute and 7 seconds left in regulation. 5-4 was the final score in that game. Puck drop for the rematch is up next. We'll step aside and return after the national anthem with your starting lineups, the opening puck drop, and the play-by-play of the action. You are tuned in to the Florida Eels Broadcast Network. We are back and ready to go for your opening puck drop of tonight's Premier Division contest between the Florida Eels and the Florida Junior Blades. Without further ado, let's give you the starting lineups of tonight's game. First for the hosting Junior Blades with a record of 13-18, 3-2. Starting at defense is Jacopo Granza alongside Jake Weston. Their three forwards starting the game, Ryan Heck, Rich Rozak, and Brody Ormiston. In net for the Blades, off to the left of my broadcast position, is Patrick Latava. And for the Florida Eels, with a record of 26-6-2-1, starting at defense is Reggie Udries, along with Trevor Voida. The three forwards, Adam Gadet, Gage Dill, and TJ Zebley. And between the pipes for the Eels off to my right is Jakob Kostelny. And what's fascinating about the Florida Eels starting lineup is that Trevor Voida, Gage Dill, and TJ Zebley are all former members of the Junior Blades. Players are positioned around the center circle. Eels skating from right to left, and from left to right move the Junior Blades. Everyone's in position, and we are underway. First one to touch it is Weston as he smashes it into the Eels' right wing circle. Udries able to pick it away, and it's pried out to Gage Dill at the center red. Dill pouring it into the Eels' attacking zone, down to near Dasher, and back behind the cage. It is slowed down by Brody Ormiston. Ormiston whipping it back up the left side, out to center for Rozak. Rozak leading the charge on a 2-on-2, and he pushes the puck straight into the chest of Jakob Kostelny. That brings us to your first whistle of the game. Just 26 seconds in. 0-0 is your score. Face-off coming to the right wing circle in the Junior Blades offensive end. That is the right side of Kostelny. And leaning into the draw is Jens Peterson. He is victorious as he slides it off to his left side for Demid Podrazov. Podrazov in the center circle, laces it to the far hash marks, plays it off of the hop, and Peterson is reunited with it from there. Down low on the far end of the goal line, Tristan Roost racing it out to the center red, and Figueroa gets it right back in his clutches. Figueroa up to the right point, and it's butted back out to the neutral zone, courtesy of Roost. Figueroa regains control. He's onside, down low for Podrazov near end wall. Podrazov gets rammed into the near side corner, and that leads us to your first penalty of the hockey game. Florida Eels are off to the man advantage. 1 minute and 1 second into the first. So we will see exactly who the perpetrator is. As of right now, that appears to be Blake Tosto. And that is the case. Blake Tosto taking a seat. It is 2 minutes for interference. The Florida Eels power play unit coming into the evening stands at 13.3%. That is the second best power play unit in the Florida division. Junior Blades, they have the best penalty kill in the division, however, with a rate of 89.5%. Eels getting to work along the far hash marks. This is Gabe Bouvet. Bouvet sparks it to the low slot, and it is swatted out to the neutral zone, courtesy of Jacopo Granza. Center line, this is Demid Podrazov, and the Florida Eels are called offside with Blake Senek not able to get back out to the neutral zone. Line changes coming on the way for both of these teams. The Florida Eels tonight donning their road green jerseys with the black trim along the shoulders, white numbers and lettering on the back, black pants, green socks, and black helmets. Junior Blades donning their home gray jerseys with the white numbers and lettering on the back, green pants, gray socks, and white helmets. Eels with 1 minute, 18 seconds to go on their power play. And it's taken on the tape of Gage Dill in front of the Florida Eels benches. Backhanded pass for Gage McNeish. McNeish to the near hash in enemy territory. And pushing him out to mid-rink is Holden Hertog. Eels still able to maintain possession. At the right wing half wall, it is Gage Dill. Dill able to take Ormiston off of his skates, but Ormiston down to one knee is still able to clear it back behind the cage of Jakob Kostelny. 48 seconds until the Junior Blades penalty kill comes to a close. And here is Jake Court rushing near side circle. TJ Zebley from the high slot launches a shot over the crossbar. And this caroms all the way back down to Jakob Kostelny. Kostelny comes out of his cage to play it, and he freezes the puck behind the net. It is Gage McNeish here. McNeish going long distance out to center for TJ Zebley. Zebley transfers right wing circle, and he gives it right away for Brett Cameron, who gets a breakaway. Here's Heck to the right wing circle, and that shot goes off of Kostelny and eventually over the glass. A flat out sloppy turnover there for the Eels, which led to a dangerous situation. But Kostelny comes up big for his team. 0-0 score. 17:09 to play in your first. Jakub Jackson leaning into the right wing circle against Ryan Heck. Heck spars it into the Florida Eels possession. Here's Gabe Bouvet along the near goal line, going vertical for Jackson. Jackson down to a knee as Heck ran him into the near side half wall. Final seconds tick down on the penalty. Blake Tosto is out of the sin bin. And let's take a look. Did he just come out too early? Yes, he did. Tosto left about 2 seconds prematurely, and the referees order him right back in. That leads to another power play for the Florida Eels. Too many men on the ice is your official verdict. Wow, just a silly mistake there, which puts the Eels up 5-on-4 for another pair of minutes. Richard Ovady taking the seat in the sin bin this time around, and the face-off in the right wing circle is won by the Blades. Kicked up to the right point, and not able to get clearance there is Cameron, and with a windmill save is Patrick Letava. And speaking of Patrick Letava, this is his 14th game between the pipes on the 2019-20 campaign. He enters tonight on a 6-5, 1-1 record, a .265 goals against average, and a .929 save percentage. Jakob Kostelny for the Florida Eels. This is his 20th game in net this year. He owns a 16-3 record, a .284 goals against average, and a .914 save percentage. Here's Ryan Garral among the low slot. Give and go for TJ Zebley behind the net. Zebley has this one cranked up to the near point, up but not out. Podrazov able to rescue the puck. Rearranged to the near point this time. It's Reggie Udries getting in there. Udries, right wing half wall, slid back up top, and the wrist shot hits the body of Ryan Heck, and it ricochets out to center. Ryan Heck heading off on a line change as the Junior Blades plank it back behind the net of Kostelny. 1 minute, 5 seconds to go on the power play for the Florida Eels, their second one in the opening moments of the hockey game. Still 0-0 as we played 4 minutes, 10 seconds of regulation. Udries wrapping around the cage, curling his way up the far wing. Centered out for Podrazov at a high slot. He's not able to cleanly play it, and dashing it out neutral zone is Cody Colgrove, who missed the past couple of weeks for the Florida Junior Blades. However, he has returned to the lineup. Here is Jared Figueroa laying back in his own right wing circle, and he'll cruise the puck up the near wall. Figueroa muscling it into enemy territory, swerves near circle, and darts a shot wide off to the left side of Patrick Letava. Figueroa back with it along the near side corner. Figueroa rising his way up to the left wing point, and he slides it away for Gage McNeish. McNeish searching for the centering feed there. Nobody home in front of the net. And to the near goal line this goes. This is deflected to the far hash. And just like that, we are back to 5-on-5 hockey. Eels now 0 for 2 on the man advantage tonight. Jared Figueroa letting one fly from the near circle. And he leaves a scuff off of the back glass. Rebounder, and he still can't get it on. Catching the puck off of the left-handed glove is Brett Cameron between the rings, and Cameron is shoved into the near half wall. From there, a 2-on-2 scramble will begin, and Tosto able to hacksaw it away into his favor. Midpoint, he's intercepted. Wrist shot from TJ Zebley is denied. Rowe able to get his tape on it, and here's Rowe guiding it out across the neutral ice. Hands it for Tosto. Tosto letting it blast from the right wing circle, and Kostelny plays that puck to a tee for the blow of the whistle. 4-2 are your shots on goal in favor of the Junior Blades. No goals to be seen here, as we have now played exactly 6 minutes of period number 1. Again, this is Premier Hockey between the Florida Eels and the Florida Junior Blades. Game 1 of a doubleheader tonight between the Eels and Blades. At 9 o'clock p.m., we'll have the elite squads go at it between these crosstown organizations. Able to flank a shot off from the right point as Yakov Yaksin, and this somehow bounces up and over the glass along the near side dasher. We'll have a draw neutral zone at the near side red dot right in front of the Junior Blades benches. Junior Blades sitting off to my left side. Florida Eels off to my right. This is sorted out for Kev Toth as he darts it back into the Eels' own zone. Right wing circle for Trevor Voida. Voida with a rink-wide feed for Udries, and those two play tag back and forth with one another before Voida finally anchors it out in front of the penalty box boards, which separate the benches. Here's Rose stabbing it to the right wing corner of Jakub Kostelny, and he heads off on a line change. Coming on out is Ashton King for the first time of the game. Big scramble for the biscuit in front of the net, and Kostelny able to sit right on top of it in that blue paint. As for the head coaches tonight, guiding the Eels is Frank Scarpacci. He is assisted by Alex Sanchez, the head coach of the Eels elite team. For the Florida Junior Blades, their head coach is Tyler Carlston, assisted by Blake O'Neill, a Junior Blades alumnus. He played during the 2011 season. Here's Gort, putting too much mustard behind the right-handed shot. Up along the far point, Cade Swigert letting one hit the body of Latava, and he will collect it from there. Junior Blades getting a wholesale line change out onto the ice. He'll stay with current reinforcements, with this face-off coming to the right side of Patrick Latava. Jake Court going head-to-head with Brody Ormiston, and Court is victorious. Ilya Senik putting a one-timer on to Latava, and he pins it up against his chest. Patrick Latava, he was in between the pipes for last Sunday's game, game 1 of this 2-game series, where again the Junior Blades came through with a 5-4 victory in the final moments. More on that in a moment. As out in his right wing corner for the Junior Blades is Alex Urasov. Urasov flinging it long, and Gabe Bouvet able to intercept it. He'll toss it up to the right point. This somehow pinballs out in front of Kostelny, and he will flash the right-handed leather, as trying to go point blank was Garrett Ewens. Well, Sunday at the Fort Myers Stadium, the Blades pulled ahead and broke the 4-4 tie in the final 67 seconds of regulation. The game-winning goal came off the stick of Brett Cameron on a power play. Here's Jakub Kostelny setting up Cade Swigert behind the cage. Poke check by Ryan Heck as Heck escalates it to the right wing half wall. Figueroa able to finesse it away. Confiscated here by Demid Podrazov. Podrazov plays it off of an odd bounce, and it eventually flutters back out across the center circle. Ormiston not able to maintain possession for the Blades, but Heck helps him out as he dumps it to the far goal line. 11 minutes, 54 seconds until your first intermission. 0-0 is your score between the Eels and the Blades. Here is Jens Peterson to the near point in the Eels attacking zone. Peterson lofting it down low for Jared Figueroa. Figueroa fumbles it away along the goal line, and Tristan Roost on the second chance will get the dump down. Here's Roost and the enemy right wing circle. Drop pass for Tosto, and Tosto was a mile away from that one, guarded by Reggie Udries. Here's a rebound for the Blades, and Tosto whiffs on the forehand as he was waiting for it on that far post. Weston with a third chance, and Kostelny coming up big again. And here in this rivalry game, as we get more acclimated to that back and forth pace, these two teams starting to throw some pushes and shoves back and forth. Some words being exchanged in between the whistles, with another draw coming to the near wing. Thwarted away by Reggie Udris on the near end of the goal line. His pass ends up getting intercepted at the middle line. Out at center by Gino Vlasic. Vlasic banks it off of the far end wall, and there to scoop it for the Eels is Gage Dill. Dill sauces it for Adam Gaudette. Gaudette planks it off of the Florida Junior Blades bench. Cruising out in front is Bouvet, looking for his first goal in the Florida Eels uniform, but it would not go. Bouvet playing his sixth game with the Florida Eels on the season, as he was signed just after New Year's Day. Icing called against the Junior Blades here. 7-7. Shots on goal are now evened up. Nice crowd filing in still here at Hertz Arena in Estero, Florida. Hertz Arena, the home to the Florida Everblades ECHL hockey organization. And it hosts 3 different sheets of ice as well. It is a beauty of a facility according to some of these Florida Eels players, and one of the very best in the Florida division. Here's TJ Zebley meandering his way into the Eels attacking zone. He's halted up at the right wing half wall by Vlasic. Zebley breaks through and plants a wrist shot off of the backboards. Near hash marks, Zebley beat to the punch by Holden Hertog. Hertog back behind the net, swerves up the far boards, and he gets taken down by Gage Dill. Dill, not a man to usually lay the body, but he was looking for an offensive chance there. Still couldn't get anything off with traffic in front. Ryan Garau hacking his way to the left wing corner. And from there, Rowe able to play it off of a high stick. So the Eels get it back. And out at the center red, this is Gage McNeish recoiling into Eels' own ice. McNeish in the right wing circle, going long for Toth. And Toth just gets absolutely decked from behind by Ashton King, as covering up is Patrick Latava. 9:26 displaying here in period number 1. Still no score to be seen. Face off to the near boards here. Jackson piling it to the near point. Espinoz has it taken through his legs. 2-on-1 for the Blades. Right wing circle for King. Shot, and Kostelny stops it in the split position. Oh my goodness, no doubt about it. Junior Blades had their best chance to score. Ashton King had the one-time drive to Garrett Ewens along the far post. And I have no idea how Kostelny was able to stop that one, but again, he sat right on top of the disc. Lodged out to the neutral zone in front of the penalty box boards is Kev Toth. Toth washing it down the far wing, and behind the cage dumping it up the near wall is Patrick Latava. Latava had that picked off along the left wing corner, and another dump down results in icing. Guilty are the Blades. Trevor Voida getting back out onto the rink for a line change. Just 2 seasons ago, Trevor Voida was teammates with Gage Dill and TJ Zebley, but they were members of the opposing team, the Florida Junior Blades. They played for the Florida Junior Blades Elite Squad, and it's no coincidence that those three men each led the team in scoring. They were the top three in points that year. As here is Reggie Udries to the opposing left wing circle. Stopped at the left wing corner. Darted out in front again, but nobody knocking on the door for the Eels. Back out in mid-rink, it's Trevor Voida. Voida crushing it to the near side corner and scooping it up as Rowe. Kyler Rowe to the far hash marks. Whiffed on to dump in. And taking advantage here is Ilya Senik. Senik give and go for Gage Dill. Dill trading it back for Senik across the opposing blue line left wing side. And it's Reggie Udries getting picked off by Brody Ormiston here. Ormiston in the left wing circle. He goes rink wide for Cameron. Cameron litters the puck on in, but it spirals wide off to the left side of Kostelny. Now 7:45 left in your first. 0-0 as the puck goes out of play along the far end of the goal line in the Eels' own zone. These two teams, of course, no stranger to one another. This is the fifth matchup out of 8 in the regular season series between the Eels and Blades. The Eels currently lead the series with a 3-1 record, but you have to remember that 3 of the 4 games were decided by a single goal. So no doubt about it, we expect another back and forth matchup here, and another which will likely be decided in the final minutes. Here's Gage McNeish killing off a couple of seconds in the Florida Eels' own end. Scattered up the near wall for Demid Podrazov. Podrazov with a 2-on-2. Centers it for Peterson. Shot in a low slot. And Patrick Latava closes up the 5-hole as play keeps on rolling. Back out to center ice, it is Michael Haddad, but the Blades are called offside. These two teams just trading opportunities back and forth here in the early goings of action. Face-off coming to the near dot. That is in front of the Florida Eels benches. It'll be Jens Peterson against Holden Hertog, and Peterson comes out as a winner this time around. Peterson with a pass way off to the right side of Jared Figueroa. The Biscuit now resting behind the cage of Latava. As gathering it here is Kyler Rowe. Rowe swapping it up the far wall, and Reggie Udries swerves back into the Eels' end zone off of a pickoff. Here's Peterson with a half-open net, and he couldn't push the puck on goal. Back to the left wing corner. Another 4-man jam ensues, and the Junior Blades have Kyler Rowe racing out the center, kicking up the heels. Left wing side is Jacopo Granza. Granza with a shot on, and elbowing it over the back glass is Kostelny. Rowe, Hertog, and Cameron heading off on the line change. A full 5 new men onto the ice for the Blades. They'll have a draw far wing in the end zone. And able to stop it is Cody Colgrove at the far point. Colgrove regains control as he gave it back and forth with Reggie Udries there. Finally, it's Colgrove again. Left wing circle. 2 men in front for the Blades, but the shot goes over the head of Jakob Kostelny. TJ Lee able to lather at the center. 2-on-0 for the Eels. Right wing circle, it's Dill, and he missed the pass to Adam Gadet. Oh boy, best chance there tonight for the Eels. And you can tell Gage Dill really kicking himself right now, as this is Dill on another chance. Right wing circle, arches in, and the puck skitters across the goal mouth to the near goal line. Junior Blades letting it fly down to Kostelny. However, the icing was called off. Kostelny dumping it down the near wing, and at the half wall waiting for it is Brody Ormiston. Ormiston got outplayed by Zebley. Zebley taken down on a scary knee-to-knee hit there, and a penalty is on the way against the Blades. Zebley down to one knee at the moment. Certainly a bit shaken up as a result of that collision in the center circle. But as of right now, it appears he's going to be A-OK. And thankfully so. Those knee-to-knee hits are some of the nastiest scariest collisions you can see out on the ice. Zebley hobbles off to the Eels bench on his own power and gets a couple of pats on the back from his teammates, as taking a seat for 2 minutes on the Junior Blade side is Michael Haddad. Eels off to the 5-on-4. They're 0 for 2 on the power play up to this point of the hockey game. Down to the final 5:24 the first we go. Still no goals scored up to this point. Off to the right side of Latava we go. And this is fluttered back to the Eels' right wing circle. Udris retrieves it. Udris wide to Podrazov. And the cross-ice feed. And somehow able to ladle it is Brody Ormiston. But he is outnumbered by 3 different Eel defenders in the Junior Blades end zone. We're now 25 seconds into the Eels power play. As here's Udris circling his way around the Nev Kostelny. And Senek whacks it down the near wing. Puck rimmed up the opposing side. Here at the right point, it is Reggie Udris. Udris, right wing circle. Yanks one straight into traffic. Taking it off of the chest is Ryan Heck. Not the first time he's taken the puck to the body today. Right wing hash marks. Latava gobbles it up off the tape of Ilya Senek. Haddad in the box for another minute, 6 seconds. And the Eels on the line change elect to send out Court, Yaxon, Figueroa, McNeish, and Dill. Players gather along the far dasher. And Yaxon gets outnumbered here on the draw. Ashton King discards it behind the cage of Yaxon. And Yaxon will slow it there. Gage McNeish in the right wing circle, blocked up by Tosto. Biscuit is wedged between the skates of Tosto. Eels all the way down to the right wing circle. It is Jared Figueroa. Outlets it, left wing circle for Dill. Dill a rink wide for Yaxon. Puck pops up midair off the knob of Patrick Latava, and it somehow stays out. Another slap shot for Figueroa, and that one goes high in the sky, and it lands back down in the near side corner. Putting the brakes on is Jake Court. Court vertical for Dill. Dill anchors it back down for Court. And Court flanks a shot over the crossbar as it lands to the far side corner. Right wing circle. This time it's Yaxon. To the final 8 seconds of the Eels power play we go. Court with another high flyer here. Eels struggling to keep it in their enemy zone. And we're back to 5-on-5. Haddad out of the sin bin. One last blast coming from Yaxon in the right wing circle. And time again, you have Patrick Latava just coming up phenomenal for his Junior Blades. We have a scoreless tie, 3:19 displaying here in the first period. Drop of the biscuit coming to the right wing circle. Eels in the end zone as we see Easton Moore get into the game for the first time tonight. Easton Moore, in his first year with the Florida Eels, he has split this 2019-20 season between the elite squad and the premier team. Eels regather it. Along the far end wall is Bouvet. Bouvet transfers it in front of the Florida Eels benches. From there it's Kev Toth. He scored a goal in Sunday's game against the Junior Blades. Kev Toth wanders to the near side corner, and pressing him up against the glass is Richard Ovady. Ovady saucing it high. That somehow misses the ceiling here at the Hertz Arena. But Moore runs away with his. Play continues. Moore with a wrist shot coming near side blue line. Ormiston able to carry him and out of play. So again, up and down, back and forth we go between these two crosstown arch rivals. Again, we thank you for tuning in to the Florida Eels Broadcast Network. Nick Rush giving you the play-by-play on this Thursday evening. It is a rare Thursday night contest. Reason being for this midweek game is because FGCU Hockey, which calls Hertz Arena home, has rented out the Hertz Arena ice for all of Friday night as well as Saturday evening. So the Junior Blades decide to take their home game here on Thursday, and we still have a fantastic crowd on hand to take in this Premier Division battle. Eels stuck in their own right wing corner. Peterson has it wedged away, and helping him out is Demid Podrazov. Podrazov kicking up the heels. Near side circle. Coming out of his crease to play it is Latava, and we'll have a scrum ensue back behind the cage. All 5 men from each side grabbing each other. A helmet goes flying in the fray, and it appears that came off the face of Jacopo Granza. Locking up with him was Demid Podrazov, and Podrazov is being escorted to the front of the scorer's table. He is hopping in the penalty box. We'll see if any additional infractions come out of that. We see Figueroa and Podrazov taking a seat in the Eels side of the sin bin, and 2 men taking a seat for the Junior Blades. So things certainly getting chippy here. 2:03 to go in the first, 0-0 score. We'll step aside and come back with the remainder of your first after this on the Florida Eels Broadcast Network. Welcome back inside Hertz Arena as we continue your final 2 minutes of period number 1. 0-0 between the Florida Eels Premier Squad and the Florida Junior Blades. We will carry on with 5-on-5. Just prior to the break, we had a bit of a scrum take place between the 2 lines out on the rink, but that will not affect the current full-strength style of play as Reggie Udries hogs it up behind the cage of Castelny, yanks it up the far wing. Waiting for it at the hash is Trevor Voida. Voida has it chipped away in front of the Florida Eels benches, and from there it's a 4-man jam set free by Reggie Udries. Forwarded by TJ Zebley across the enemy blue line, near side circle, and along the left wing of the end wall. You have another board battle there, won by the Junior Blades. It's Tristan Roos, center circle. Coming into the right side of Castelny. Roos angles his way in, can't plant the shot off, and the official's right hand goes up again. This is a tripping call coming up. The Florida Eels are the guilty party this time around, and for the first time of the night, the Junior Blades are heading to the power play. Trevor Voida taking the seat here, and the Eels now have 3 different men sitting in the box. You remember we had that scrum between the 2 lines just moments ago. You have 2 men in the sin bin for the Junior Blades. But Trevor Voida puts the Junior Blades back on the man advantage, or rather on the man advantage for the first time tonight. Blades power play unit stands at 12.2 on the conversion percent. Eels PK, their rate is 88.8%. This one stashed in front. Castelny kicks it away to the right wing corner with 37 seconds and counting on the clock. Giving chase is Easton Moore to the right wing corner, and Moore dumps it down for Latava. Latava goes all the way to his left wing circle, and he'll fly it out for Roost in the neutral zone. Tosto blazing down the right wall, thwarted back out in front by Cody Colgrove, but his shot would not go along the far post. Colgrove anchors it to the midpoint. Keeping it in is Cameron. Cameron transfers to Roost in the right wing circle. Roost looks like he'll lead up the remaining time here with 2 seconds left, and that is your final buzzer. After 20 minutes of regulation, your score 0-0 between the Florida Eels and the Junior Blades in Premier Division action. 56 seconds are left on the carryover power play for the Junior Blades. We'll take a break and come back with your puck drop to start period number 2 from Hertz Arena in Estero, Florida. This is the Florida Eels Broadcast Network. We are set to begin your second period of play at Hertz Arena in Estero, Florida, where the Florida Eels Premier Team and the Junior Blades are deadlocked in a scoreless tie. Eels skating from left to right across your computer screen. Junior Blades moving from right to left as Trevor Voida of the Eels sits in the penalty box for the next 56 seconds. Again, for a little under a minute, the Junior Blades will have a carryover power play. It is their first 5-on-4 of the night. 13-9 are your shots on goal in favor of the Florida Eels. And finally, after a bit of a delay, players are gathered at the center circle, and Blake Tosto releases it into the Eels' own right wing circle. This is popped up by Yaxon off of a carom, and the Junior Blades are able to keep it into the attacking zone along the far end boards. Grabbing a hold of it is Jake Court, and he flanks it down the remainder of the ice. Behind the cage it lies of Patrick Latava, and the Junior Blades start from their own near hash marks, courtesy of Jake Weston. Weston with a rink-wide feed, right wing circle, blockered away on the shot, coming from Jakob Kostelny. Kostelny again in between the pipes for the Eels. And in the right wing circle, it is Weston trying to go point blank, and it's kicked aside this time around from Kostelny. Official kills off play with 10 seconds left on the violation to Trevor Voida. It is your first whistle as we're now 45 seconds into your middle stanza of regulation. We are still awaiting that first goal of the game from either one of these teams. We go off to the right side of Kostelny, and along the near end glass, this is none other than Gage McNeish, the Florida Eels alternate captain in his third year with the Florida Eels. Weston tosses it back into the Junior Blades end zone. Icing is called off, and it's Gage Dill from the far end boards, racketing it up the right point. Grabbing it from there is Gage Dill. Dill switching to the near wing, out in the neutral zone. Tosto finesses it away. Tosto to the near hash marks, and he's pressured back behind the cage by Gage Dill. No shot would come, and the Eels get another dump down. Gage Dill onside, into attacking territory, jabs a backhander onto Liatava, and he secures the puck into the left-handed glove. And if there's one player to really look out for in this game, it has to be Blake Tosto, as he makes his way onto the ice for the latest Junior Blades line change. Right away, wrist shot comes from Gage Dill in the right wing circle draw, and it's paddled out of play to the near corner by Liatava. But Blake Tosto, in his hockey career, the most points that he has scored in a single season is 54, which came in 2016 while playing high school hockey in Michigan. As of right now, Tosto is just 4 points away from tying his record of 54. He currently holds 50 points, and it took him just 36 games to get to this point at the USPHL Premier level. So Blake Tosto, no doubt about it, he's a threat to be reckoned with, as this is backed out to the neutral zone by Brett Cameron, giving chase for the Eels as Bouvet in the left wing circle, forwards it for Dill. Dill racing to the right wing circle, and it's pinballed away off the skate of Rowe. Eels keep it into the attacking ice. Trevor Voida loses it on his skate to the far hash, and the Junior Blades will come away racing with it in front of their own benches. It's Kyler Rowe leading the charge, right wing circle, and putting his race to a halt is Adam Gadet. Gadet heading off on a line change in exchange for Jens Peterson. And the Junior Blades had a 2-on-2 coming, but a penalty is on the way against the Florida Eels. They were caught with too many men. So moments ago, we saw the Florida Eels kill off their first PK of the game. And they're off to another penalty kill. TJ Zebley taking a seat for the next 2 minutes. 17:22 until the end of the second. 0-0 score here from Hertz Arena. Draw coming to the far dasher. And McNeish threads it back into the direction of Liatava. Liatava stopping the puck back behind his net, and he ladles it to the right wing corner. Waiting there is Brett Cameron. Cameron switches to the near glass, and it's Ormiston bustling out across the middle of the ice. Another laser coming 200 feet down to Liatava. He'll stay in the blue paint, and Haddad retrieves it along the near end boards. Court pressuring up Haddad. And prying it free is Brett Cameron. Cameron tape to tape with Ormiston across the center red. Ormiston down to the near side circle, and he switches sides with the puck rimmed around to the right wing hash marks. This is Blake Tosto. Tosto cruising to the left wing half wall. Slides it across for Roost at the right point. Wrist shot coming on the way there from Roost. And Weston wasn't able to cleanly play it. It's back out to the neutral zone with 50 seconds to go on the Florida Eels penalty. It is Weston back in the right wing circle, and another stoppage coming here. And wow, it appears that the Junior Blades are now caught with too many men on the ice. Quite a shocker there. It is the second time in the game the Blades have had that infraction, and the third time overall on this evening when you take both teams into account. Taking a seat is Richard Ovady. He served 2 minutes during that first too many men call against the Blades, which took place in period number 1. So we'll have 45 seconds of 4-on-4 action, and then after that we'll have 1 minute 15 seconds of a Florida Eels power play. They had 3 5-on-4s come in the first, and the Eels couldn't capitalize on any of them, as we have now played 4 minutes of the second period. Your score remains 0-0. Here's Bouvet killing off a couple seconds from the Eels' own left wing circle. Taps it for Podrazov. Podrazov wedges it for Bouvet. Now at the near point in the Eels' attacking zone. Bouvet intercepted by Weston, and Weston hogging it back behind the Junior Blades net. Pitchforked out across the neutral zone, and it's a foot race between Udris and Weston to the right wing corner in Eels territory. Giving it a ride in front of the Florida Eels benches is Demid Podrazov, and wisely avoiding an offside call there is Yakov Yaksin, but the Junior Blades have it back in their clutches, courtesy of Brett Cameron. Cameron at the center circle, finessed aside by Bouvet. And Bouvet dances left wing side at the circle. It's handed off to Podrazov. Podrazov with a blast coming as the Florida Eels man advantage is now underway. Here's Jake Court shimming his way to the far end of the goal line, and Cameron knifes it back out to mid-rink. Dill recoils back to the Eels near side circle. And he's trying to go end-to-end here. Near hash marks for Gage Dill. He's double tween between a pair of Blades. One-time blast by Figueroa. And squeezing his pads together is Patrick Latava. Down to the last 15 seconds are the Eels on their power play. Turned away by Cameron at the near point. Slotted right circle for Colgrove. And Colgrove can't get that one anywhere close to Jakob Kostelny, the Florida Eels netminder. Figueroa gathers in front of the penalty box boards. Back to 5-on-5 we go. It's Figueroa halted far side circle. Cody Colgrove leading the charge. Could be a 2-on-1 if the Blades hurry. Right wing circle. And it's a pad save produced by Jakob Kostelny. Sorted out for Zebly. Near wing out at center ice. It's Jens Peterson. High slot for Zebly. Wrist shot. And taking it in the equipment is Liatava. We're getting closer towards that halfway marker of the hockey game. 13:40 left in the second. And we have a scoreless tie between the Eels and the Junior Blades. Quite the opposite of what we saw in Game 1 of this two-game series last Sunday, where the Junior Blades won in regulation against the Eels 5-4. Drop the puck coming to the far side dasher. It rests up at the half wall. Blake Tosto triggers it to the right point. Barely able to keep it across the blue line is Gage McNeish. McNeish letting it go, and it caroms off the stick of Jens Peterson along the low slot. Eels have to start again from the neutral zone. And complete fast for Podrazov. Goes on the tape of Michael Haddad. Haddad in his own right wing corner. Goes straight ahead for Ormiston. Ormiston dangles his way across the opposing blue line, but he is offside. Shots on goal now read 17 for the Eels and 11 for the Junior Blades, with this faceoff coming in front of the Blades bench. Keep in mind, folks, this is game one of a doubleheader at 9 o'clock p.m. this evening. We will see the elite teams take the ice between the Eels and the Junior Blades right here at Hertz Arena. It is the lone game of the week for either one of these teams. So both teams will be done for the week once tonight's all said and done. This one just barely trickled across the goal mouth and wide off to the far post. Kostelny able to catch a lucky break, and the hand goes up from the official again. It's a hooking call against the Florida Eels. We'll see who serves this 2-minute infraction. Eels at the moment are getting a line change. After a couple of moments, Jens Peterson has been chosen to take a seat in the penalty box. So again, Junior Blades off to another man advantage as they look to draw first blood. Junior Blades getting some stick taps from the benches to energize their team. Face-off coming to the right side of Jakob Kostelny up against the near boards. And on the previous play, Jakob Kostelny must have taken the net off of the moorings. You have a pair of referees who are having difficulty getting the net back onto the pegs. After a couple of seconds, the net is readjusted, and we're back into that left wing circle. Holden Hertog stymies it to the near point. Granza plays it on a bad hop, and Easton Moore demonstrating a dump and chase for the Eels. In his own right wing corner, it is Jacopo Granza. Granza running it up the near wing for Cody Colgrove out at center ice. Colgrove tapping it across right wing circle. There it's Ormiston in front, and it stayed out. Oh my goodness. Jakob Kostelny and Patrick Liatava, two goaltenders who have just made phenomenal stop after stop tonight. Right wing side, it's Kyler Rowe. His wrist shot is engulfed by traffic. And runners here with the 200-foot clearance is Moore. 1 minute, 12 seconds to spare on the power play for the Junior Blades at center red. Moore able to dangle his way past Colgrove. Colgrove looking a bit dejected as he stays at the center ice line. Meanwhile, it's a foot race to the right wing corner between Granza and Jackson. Granza comes out victorious, and he chips it off for Cody Colgrove, left wing circle, and the Junior Blades end zone. One shot comes. It's taken off of the right pad of, oh my goodness, Kostelny again. The Eels fans in attendance just continue to go nuts. That will put loss for words what Kostelny has done tonight. Whiffing on the slap shot attempt from the near point is Blake Tosto. Junior Blades down to the last 25 seconds on the power play. One last stoppage coming from Kostelny, and another round of applause comes from the Florida Eels fans in attendance. And keep in mind that the Florida Eels are based in downtown Fort Myers, just about half an hour from us here in Estero. So when the Eels and Blades play, whether it be here at Hertz Arena or in Fort Myers, a large crowd always comes out to support. And just like tonight, it is typically 50-50, split right down the middle when it comes to the amount of Eels fans versus Blades fans. And a pair of referees have gone back to the net of Kostelny. They're having some more difficulty with the moorings of Kostelny's net. We have played exactly 9 minutes of period number 2. No goals have been put on the board from either one of these teams. Face off to the far dasher. Chopped up to the right point. Michael Haddad surprisingly throws this one out of play along the far boards. It appears that he was trying to bank it off of the right wing half wall, but the glass here at Hertz Arena is known to lie very low throughout the entirety of the rink, so it wasn't an intentional clear. But boy, did he get some airtime behind it for sure. Here's Weston with a wraparound along the near post. Puck pinballing in the low slot and a goal. Brody Ormiston tips it in from the low slot, and the Junior Blades have taken the lead 1-0. 10:42 left in the second. And there's only so much that Jakob Kostelny would do there when that puck is played point blank by the Junior Blades. One shot came off, Kostelny stopped it in the split position. And you know what? It was just Brody Ormiston having Kostelny right where he wanted him. Right place at the right time there for Ormiston as he puts his team on top. And it's Cameron wheeling it out across the neutral zone as we have the official goal announcement ring out across the PA system. Rich Rozak has been named the lone assistant on the goal, which once again came off the tape of Ormiston. Here's a shot lasered on from Toth along the left side of the blue line, and taking it straight to the breadbasket is Liatava. Shots on goal now read 18 all between these two teams. We talked a couple of moments ago about Blake Tosto and how he is one force to be reckoned with here for the Junior Blades. For the Eels, if there's one player who's really made a difference thus far, it is TJ Zebley. He's coming off of a 2-goal performance in last Sunday's game against the Blades. Zebley has scored a combined 6 points in his last 6 games played. Near side corner, Eels trying to work it out of their own zone. Rimmed around the opposing side, and at the right wing half wall, this is Toth. Toth litters out to the neutral zone, and he'll take a 360 back out in front of the Junior Blades benches. This is Sport onside for Udries. Udries in the left wing circle, wrist shot there. Hits the body of Kaya Batur, and that sputters back out to center ice. Alex Urasov whiffing on the dump in. Junior Blades still able to maintain possession, and applying his glove to the puck is Kostelny. And TJ Zebley, he is an athlete who has not been forgotten by the Junior Blades faithful. Zebley played with the Junior Blades elite team just 2 seasons ago, and when he was announced in the Florida Eels starting lineup today, the Junior Blades fans gave him quite the applause. Meanwhile, it is Jared Figueroa pushing it forward for Podrazov. Podrazov denied at the Junior Blades blue line by Rich Rozak. Rozak comes flowing into the Eels' own zone, and he has a turnover to the left wing circle. Big scramble breaking out 2-on-2 along the near hash. Spelled back behind the cage, and we have another penalty being signaled here. It goes against the Eels. This time it is a high-sticking call. Keep in mind, the Eels are down by 1 to the final 9:03 of the second we go. Doing the crime is Jared Figueroa this time. To the far wing, Junior Blades victorious in a draw, and it's centered for Weston at the midpoint. Weston slots it to the right wing corner. There is Brett Cameron. Cameron going across for Tosto, and he banks it in. Tosto connects with a sharp angle shot, which doubles up the Junior Blades lead 2-0. And that comes with 8:49 until the conclusion of your second period. A whole lot of traffic for Jakob Kostelny, but boy, have the Junior Blades just absolutely frustrated the Eels here tonight. And as we've said, it is far different from this past Sunday's game, where these two teams' offensive just thrived, putting goal after goal up on each other and a back-and-forth affair. Tonight has not been one of those scenarios, and the Junior Blades have had one heck of a second period. Goal announcement coming again. And we have a correction. Holden Hertog had the goal. Again, Holden Hertog comes up with the tally. Tristan Roost named the assistant. And you can see a little bit of dejection here in the faces of these Florida Eels players. Drop of the puck coming in the right wing circle. And it's thwarted up to the near point for Jackson. Rinsed into the Eels end zone, courtesy of Adam Gadet. However, there's a Junior Blades player sitting right on top of the puck. And somehow the whistle has not been blown. That man was Jacopo Granza. And the Junior Blades come running out across the middle of the ice. Right wing circle, it's Ormiston searching for his second goal of the evening, but no can do. He couldn't get the shot on. At the middle of the rink, it's Gage Dill. Dill darts his way to the right wing circle. Backhanded pass to Jackson along the near end boards. And a pair of Junior Blades players will double team him. That was Ormiston alongside Ryan Heck. Heck and Ormiston now heading off of the line change as Ormiston dumped it into the near side corner. Jake Court kicking it off of his skate. And Gadet angles it to the opposing right wing circle. Trying to pitchfork it out to the neutral zone is Ryan Heck there, but to no avail. Make that Ashton King on the clearing attempt. Ashton King flies it out to center on the second try. And King with a slap shot coming straight from the center circle. That flutters over the head of Jakob Kostelny. Now 7 minutes to go in the second. Junior Blades lead by a pair, looking to extend it here. Man in the right wing circle, and that is Kaya Batur. Batur shreds it right side for Ovedi, and Ovedi cannot pull the trigger in time. Back out at the center circle for Jake Court. Court sputters it back for Jackson. Jackson near hash marks. And at the high slot, he gets sandwiched between Hertog and Cameron. You have a board battle coming along the right wing half wall. Picked free for Moore along the near point. And here is King stashing it back out in front of the Florida Eels benches. King trying to go from one end to the other. Cameron has it lodged off of his stick, and here's Moore the other way. 2-on-2 for the Eels, and Court having to take another couple of seconds back out in the neutral zone. (21-18), your shots on goal. Taking the slight edge in that category are the Junior Blades. Shot scraped wide off to the right side of the net by Jared Figueroa, and it's Vlasic trying to go end-to-end here. Vlasic in the right wing circle. Four-hander on to Kostelny, and he tucks it away for the blow of the whistle. Well, as we get down to the final games of the 2019-20 regular season campaign, and certain parts of the Florida division, boy, has it gone competitive. The Florida Eels stand in first place with 55 points, and right underneath them are the Charleston Colonials with 36. That is a 9.5 game lead for the Florida Eels as Blake Tosto shimmies a shot on from the near point, and taking it off the face mask and covering it is Kostelny. So again, Eels up 9.5 games for that top spot. The Tampa Bay Juniors and the Florida Junior Blades, as of right now, are tied for the third place spot in the division with 31 points each. Atlanta Mad Hatters are fifth with a total of 24 points. So here's Jens Peterson locking it to the far point in the Eels offensive zone. Bouvet getting picked off, and doing the honors is Tristan Roost. Roost left wing circle, rink wide, feed, shot, and a sprawling save by Kostelny, and a man collides into the back of Kostelny's cage. We can't see the number as of right now, but as an Eels player who is shaken up, hitting his body against the far post was Reggie Udries there, and thankfully he's back up on his feet. But the referees, again, they've had some difficulty keeping Kostelny's net on the pegs. And again, they're going to skate over to the blue pane and relodge that net. They do it a little bit quicker this time, as we have now played 14 minutes, 50 seconds of period number 2. Down by a pair are the Eels, and a 2-0 affair. It's Figueroa poking it, right wing circle, enemy territory, wrap around, and able to keep it out with the blade of escape is Patrick Liatava. Taken back around, right wing circle, point blanker by Peterson, and a windmill save put into effect by Liatava. Giving out a shout of frustration as Jared Figueroa as he skates back to the Eels bench. And the Eels have had a couple of outstanding chances to get on the board, but Liatava again just not laying anything past him. It's Gage McNeish to the near end of the blue line. 2-on-2 scramble ensues. Toth sets it loose, and this is poked high in midair and somehow stays in play along the near end wall. It's Yaxon loosening it for Kev Toth on the far half wall. Espinosa shoots it out of play over the far corner. And the Florida Eels players, they know how important this game is. Many of the men on the roster said earlier today that they cannot afford to lose this game. After Sunday's 5-4 loss against the Blades, the Eels went through a very rigorous training program on Monday to get them ready for this second game of the doubleheader. The Eels again trying to seal the deal and clinch their division once and for all for that top spot heading into the USPHL playoffs. It's McNeish, right side of the blue line. Eels in their end zone here. Stroke down to Clement Espinosa in the left wing circle. Espinosa tape to tape with Toth behind the cage. Toth litters in front of the net, and that is ricocheted out of play by Colgrove. Line change coming for the Florida Eels, and they'll go with the wholesale variety. Coming out is TJ Zebley, Adam Gadet, Gage Dill, Trevor Voida, and Reggie Udries. It's Voida to the near point, shuffles it back behind the cage. Trying to redirect it out in front was TJ Zebley, but Haddad stuck his skate out in the way. Helping him out is Kea Batur. Batur going straight forward for Colgrove to the neutral zone, and Colgrove plasters a shot onto Jakob Kostelny. Just save there. Play keeps on rolling. Cody Colgrove along the far hash marks. Wrist shot there, and Voida goes down on a big knee-to-knee hit. Thankfully, he's okay, and the puck goes in. Holden Hertog had a half-open net, and he played it to perfection. It is 3-0. And Trevor Voida absolutely beside himself, throwing up his hands because he wants to know why a penalty was not called against the Junior Blades for that nasty hit he took just a few seconds ago. But eventually the talking subsides, and Voida goes back to the Florida Eels bench as again the Junior Blades have a 3-goal lead with 3:13 displaying on that second period clock. It has been a game thus far that this Eels team just flat out wants to forget. You have one referee talking to the Junior Blades benches. Tyler Carlston, the head coach, cooperating. And it had to do with a little bit of confusion on their latest line change. So out at center ice. Winning the draw is Senek, and it's Cameron swooping in. Wrist shot there to the pads of Kostelny. Michael Haddad is the lone assistant on the goal from Tristan Roost. Roost now with 2 points on the night. As digging it from out of his own end wall is Ilya Senek. Unlucky bounce out in front. And the puck soars onto the Florida Eels benches. Having to jump out of the way is the head coach, Frankie Scarpacci. So not a whole lot to cheer about for the Florida Eels fans in attendance. We'll go to the right wing circle and the offensive end of the Eels. Jake Court loses to Urasov, and it's Urasov out in the middle circle. Off to his left to Tristan Roost. Roost in the left wing circle. Tries to go 5-hole and in, but it would not go in time. Right wing circle, clearing it the other direction is Gage McNeish. McNeish, pass had a little bit too much mustard behind it, and it goes into the clutches of Roost, but only for a moment. 2-on-2 for the Eels. Right wing circle is Court, and we're now down to the last 2 minutes of your middle stanza of regulation. Still plenty of time for the Eels to work something out, but they have a long mountain to climb, trailing 3-0. With the cover-up is Kostelny here. And the frustration is visible as Jake Court slams his stick against the benches. He's going off on the latest edit to the lines alongside Gage McNeish. Players gathering together along the near dasher and the Eels' own ice. Ryan Heck getting in there for the Blades. And he is successful with a drop pass to Rozak at the near point. Nozak with a wrist shot wide off to the right side of the cage. Moving in the other way is Peterson to the Eels' enemy zone. Right wing circle, Podrazov is open. Wrist shot there, and stoning him is Latava. Rozak with the clear end. Pouring it down the near wall is Kostelny. And the Junior Blades have had this second period where everything has gone right. Again, it was scoreless coming out of the first period, but 3 separate goals for the Junior Blades have made the difference thus far. Behind his own net, it is Kostelny. Kostelny handing it off for Court. Court dancing from the right wing circle out to the neutral zone. 2-on-2, left wing circle for Podrazov, and it's elbowed aside by Liatava. Eels maintain possession at the midpoint. It's Bouvet, and he let it go underneath his stick. Breakaway for the Blades. It's King in the right wing circle, but jumping out in front in the nick of time is Bouvet. Delayed offside call against the Blades. It is Eels puck. Gage Dill, left wing side, and he runs out of running room along that far post. Tucked away along the far hash marks, and it is Ashton King getting rung up on the stick of Jared Figueroa. No penalty is called by the referee, much to the dismay of the Junior Blades benches. Cody Colgrove spars it to the right wing circle of the Eels' own zone. They have one last chance with 11 seconds on the clock here in period number 2. And icing called against the Eels. They throw their hands up. Gage Dill is just fuming right now as he runs up to a pair of referees, but there's just not a whole lot he can do at this point. You have 2 referees in the conversation. The head linesman is out in front of the scorer's table. And between the 3 of them, they elect to have a drop of the puck out at center ice. So here's Brett Cameron winning the draw. And it looks like he'll eat up the remaining time here. That is the case, and after 2 periods of play, your score, the Florida Junior Blades 3 and the Florida Eels 0. All 3 goals from the Blades were scored here in the second. To say it was a middle stanza, which has been flat out disappointing, is an understatement here for this Florida Eels team. But we'll take a break, come back for the start of period number 3, and we'll see if they can turn things around right here on the Florida Eels Broadcast Network. Your third period of play begins now from Hertz Arena in Estero, Florida, as the Florida Junior Blades lead over the Florida Eels 3-0 here in Premier Action. Eels win the draw. They skate from right to left across your computer screen. From left to right, move the Junior Blades. And pedaling to the near point is Jake Court in the attacking zone of the Eels. Wrist shot taken off of the breadbasket of Liatava, and he's not able to hang on. Spelled back behind the cage by TJ Zebley. Trying to poke check is Rowe, and Rowe gets it up but not out. Zebley able to anchor it back down to the nearer goal line. Left wing corner, this time this Court. Court tape to tape with Zebley, who now stands at the center of the blue line. And as he dunks it in, the puck eventually comes back over his head to the neutral zone. Able to relieve it out of the Junior Blades ice at time is Urasov, fresh off of a line change. Incomplete pass here to Urasov. Skitters its way to the near goal line. Kostelny tries to flood it up the far wall, and it's butted away by Blake Tosto along the far hash marks. Here's Dmitry Podrazov setting up a brand new try for the Eels. Tags it off for Figueroa, right wing circle, and into the net for a goal. There was a brief scramble in the low slot for it, and somehow it got batted in from the near point. The Eels trimmed their deficit down to a pair. It's 3-1, just a minute 13 seconds into the third. And the official goal scorer is Jens Petersen. Initially from the broadcast booth, it looked like the puck went off of a skate. And Jens Petersen is able to break that 0 on the scoreboard for the Eels. Still plenty of work to be done, but the Eels benches have the sticks banging against the boards. A little bit of a delay before the puck drop, and we're right back at it. Here's Jared Figueroa knifing it off to the left side of Liatava. Liatava slows it for Tristan Roost. Roost comes careening up the near wall, caromed into the favor of Figueroa. Figueroa rushing back in. Shot and a goal! Jens Petersen again. Not even 30 seconds apart. He scores a pair, and it is 3-2. Eels down by 1. You have got to be kidding me. And the strange thing about it was that the Eels came into the third period looking optimistic. Coming out of the locker rooms, heading into the third period, down 3-0. Plenty of teams would look dejected, but the Eels were certainly not that, and they score a pair of goals in the blink of an eye. So Petersen scored both of those goals again. Podrazov with the assist on the latest tally. Meanwhile, it is Cameron to the right wing circle, Junior Blades own zone. So it is a hockey game again. Eels down by 1, and it's Holden Hertog swerving to the enemy far side circle. Junior Blades in the end zone. Hertog swaps it across to Michael Haddad near point. Haddad with a wrist shot engulfed in traffic. Jakob Kostelny with a pad save. Wraparound would not go from Rowe. Third shot. That time it will not be the charm. Sennick able to wiggle it up the near wall and back out to center, but the Junior Blades flank it back in courtesy of Haddad. Haddad heading off now on a line change. Here's Ashton King leading the charge in a 2-on-2. Right wing circle. Pushed it over the head of Kostelny, and the puck rackets its way up the far point. Brett Cameron with a wrist shot there, a mile away from the net. Kea Batur with a blaster there, and it caroms off the skate of Gage McNeish. King banks it back in around the end wall of Kostelny. Kostelny stays in his net as Court revolves it to the neutral zone. Here's Dill making a run for it to the right wing circle. Beating him to the punch is Cameron. Dill notches it back in his favor, but he still can't pull the trigger on net. Back around to the far hash. This is Yakov Yakson. Yakson darts it behind the cage for Gage Dill. Dill not able to trade it back to him. Blades have possession in the neutral zone. Wrist shot blazes over the head of Kostelny again. And the Eels are back from square one. Quarterbacking the drive is McNeish to his own right wing circle. McNeish having to recoil in his own ice with a little bit of resistance coming on the way from Ryan Heck. But eventually it flies in between the skates of Ryan Heck, and it's sauced to the near goal line, where waiting there is Court. Court peppers it to the near point. Standing there is McNeish. McNeish going rink wide to the right wing corner and searching of Figueroa. Heck with a one-time drive, and reading that one all over is Kostelny. We have played exactly 4 minutes of period number 3. Eels come out of the locker room and score back-to-back goals as they now trail 3-2. So the Eels again just 1 goal away from completing that comeback. After the first period, both teams were scoreless, but the Blades scored 3 goals in the second period. This one laced back out in front of Kostelny, and he knobs it to the right wing corner. Waiting there is Bouvet. Bouvet vertical for Peterson in front of the penalty box boards. Peterson wiggles, right wing circle, shot, and a goal! Jared Figueroa ties the game. 3 unanswered from the Eels, and it is 3-3. The celebration goes straight back to the Eels benches as the whole team mobs Jared Figueroa. .15:37 left in the game, and timeout has been called by the Florida Junior Blades. And at this point, the Eels can't get their heads too big. Still a job to be done as they have only evened up this game. So having a moment with his players is the head coach of the Junior Blades, Tyler Carlston. So the Eels have done not the impossible, but they come out from a very unlikely situation. They enter the third trailing 3-0. They scored 3 unanswered, and we're not even 4.5 minutes into the third. The timeout has expired, and Carlston sends the Blades back out onto the rink. So here we go. Eels along the far wall. It's Yakov Yaksin. Goal announcement being made now. Wow, Jens Peterson gets the assist. And that is the only one which comes. So Jens Peterson, he scored a pair of goals and an assist, all here in period number 3 as we now reach the 5-minute marker of your final period. Adam Gadet, near side circle, sharp angle shot comes on, and it's eventually whistled away by Cody Colgrove on the near half wall. Batted back around the end wall. Side, it's Kea Batur. Batur flutters it up to the blue line. There it is, Rowe, and Moore butts it away and pushes it over the crossbar. So against the Junior Blades, back from square one. They went from leading 3-0 to being tied up 3-3 as Figueroa absolutely lowers the boom in the row. That gets some oohs and ahs from the fans in attendance. And the Eels go from one end to the other. Fumbled puck scooped up by Rich Rozak, and Rozak careens it to the near corner and the Eels' own ice. Shots on goal 30-24 in favor of the Blades. This is Jake Weston and his own left wing circle for the Blades. He'll pepper it back behind the cage again. Kostelny will let it sit there, and revolving around is Jens Peterson, putting a little bit of a toe drag on past Ryan Heck, but Rozak filters it to the near goal line. So at this point, whenever the Eels get out of their own zone, Blades are there to just pour it back on in. Finally, Figueroa with a bit of offensive momentum. Heck came soaring in there looking for a bit of a redemption hit, but Figueroa able to spin out of the way. Remember, those two had a nasty collision moments ago. Dumped down by the Junior Blades, and it had a deflection out at center, so no icing is called. It is Jake Court behind the net of Kostelny. Bluffs a pass with Tosto guarding in front, and it's wiggled away by Moore. Here's Senek. Up ahead on a 2-on-2. Thwarted away by Roos behind the cage. Regaining it is Senek. Senek searching for the wraparound along the far post. And again, he just ran out of running room. Roos in the foot race to the right wing circle. Eels on ice. Junior Blades grab it. Sharp angle shot. Kostelny keeps it outside. Right wing corner is Brett Cameron. One touch pass to Michael Haddad near point. Here's another ricochet in the low slot, and that entirely misses the net. One more chance for the Blades out to the neutral zone. Jacopo Granza was down to one. He steers at the toss though, right circle, bluffs on the wrist shot. Rebound goes straight in between the pads of Kostelny, who keeps it a tied up 3-3 hockey game, 12:25 until the end of regulation. Face-off taking place to Kostelny's left. Reggie Udry's in the right wing corner is the first one to touch up on it. And it's maneuvered to center ice for Adam Gadet. Gadet with a backhanded pass in front of the Junior Blades bench to TJ Zebley. Zebley rims it around the end wall and along the near side. It is darted back down the length of the ice. Will an icing be called? No, it will not. Reggie Udry slapping it up the right wing side. Eels racing back out across the neutral zone. It is Adam Gadet having it threaded to him in the low slot, and banking it aside is Brett Cameron in front of the Junior Blades benches. Weston playing tag back and forth with Cameron. It's Cameron to the penalty box boards, and he gets ran into by Reggie Udries, who finesses it aside. Udries feeding it down the far wing, and the puck lies back behind the cage where Weston swoops in. Weston charging his way out to mid-rink, and he has the puck flop right off of his stick. Here's Jake Court with a pair of Blades defenders surrounding him, and the net comes off of the pegs of Patrick Latava. He was leaning into that near post, and the net nearly came off, resulting in the blow of the whistle. That brings us to tonight's edition of Florida Eels. Where are they now? And tonight we talk about Colin Jones with a face-off coming along the far wing in the offensive end of the Eels. 11-12 to go in the third, 3-3 score. Well, Colin Jones, he split the 2016-17 season between the Richmond Generals and the Florida Eels. The 5'10" forward out of Stevenson Park, Kansas, played a total of 30 games with the Eels. More in a moment, as here's a wraparound attempt from Jared Figueroa, but he's not able to confirm his second goal of the game. Once the season ended, Colin made his decision to play college hockey at Stevenson University, a Division II member of the ACHA. Again, that is Colin Jones, and he is featured on this evening's edition of Florida Eels. Where are they now? He is one of over 250 Florida Eels alumni who have advanced to the collegiate hockey level. Eels with another face-off win. Slap shot from the near point, courtesy of McNeish, and that lands straight into the left-handed glove of Latava. Eels with a wholesale line change as they send out Jake Court, Gage Dill, TJ Zebley, Yakov Yakson, and staying out onto the rink is Gage McNeish. Almost a centering feed there out in front of the net for TJ Zebley. That gets some more oohs and ahs from the fans here at Hertz Arena. But it is drubbed away out to the neutral zone, and scraping it off at the near dasher is Gage McNeish. McNeish avoids a hit from Heck, and he'll filter it back behind the cage of Liatava. Liatava dumps it down the far glass, and it's back out to the neutral zone. Waiting there is McNeish. McNeish taped the tape with Court, who almost had a breakaway, but jumping out in front last second is Jake Weston, and it goes out of play. Jake Court, after the whistle, giving a little push and shove back and forth with Garrett Ewens, and eventually a linesman will jump in the way between them. Again, the Florida Eels entered the third period down 3-0. We now have a tied-up hockey game, 3-3, with a pair of goals from Jens Peterson and a tally from Jared Figueroa. 10-20 until regulation is all said and done. And the next faceoff comes in the right wing circle. Blades stuck in their own territory. Peterson flinks it to the right point. Cade Swiger with a slap shot. That hits the body of Jens Peterson in between the circles. And here's Tristan Roos. Hurdles his way to the near side circle. And the wrist shot goes wide off to the right side of Kostelny. Rebound along the far post will not go. Point blanker skitters to the right wing corner. That came off the right-handed shot of Tosto. It's Cade Swigert along the far goal line. Sauces it at the center red for Peterson. Peterson handing it off. Left circle. Slap shot from Figueroa. Went over his stick. A junior Blade got tripped up. No call against the Eels. And it's Udries again. High slot. And it goes away. Oh, what a stoppage from Patrick Liatava. And this game remains tied as a result. Center red. It's Demid Podrazov. Drop pass for Peterson in the right wing circle. Peterson can't get anything going with it as it's kicked out to mid-rink by Tristan Roost. 9:10 on that third period clock. Still more than plenty of time for one of these teams to grab the edge. It's Trevor Voida along the near hash and the end zone of the Florida Eels. Along the near goal line, it's Senek. Senek curving his way out in front, but it's peeled away out the center by Ashton King. King trying to dive his way out in front of the current carrier, Trevor Voida. Those two going back and forth in front of the Junior Blades benches before it's loosened by Gadet and the far wing. Gadet hits the outer lining of the net. Sparring it up the near wing, and it's dropped to the left wing corner for Kev Toth. Toth reloading out in front of the cage. Nothing will go. Rebounder, and Letava takes it off of the face mask. Outstanding goaltender performance between Letava of the Blades and Kostelny of the Eels. But the Eels still have it in attacking ice. Left circle for Toth, and it's kicked away by Letava up to that near point. Trevor Voida trying to zone his way in, scraped aside by King, who takes it 360 around Letava's net. Unattended biscuit out at the blue line of the Blades. And the Junior Blades will win it as they recoil back in their own territory. Near half wall, you have a four-man jam. Dill able to hacksaw it loose. And getting open is TJ Zebley to the high slot, but he had some hesitation. And that's enough time for the Blades to smack it out to the neutral zone. Cameron did the honors at time as it's Jake Court in front of the penalty box boards. A little through pass there, goes straight into the left-handed glove of Letava. And again, these two teams are winding down the regular season after today. The Eels will be down to their final 8 games of the 2019-20 regular season. The Blades will be down to their final 7. So these two teams are jousting back and forth for those final playoff seeds. Jockeyed to the right wing circle for Court. Court with a turnaway shot. Caught out of midair by TJ Zebley in the low slot. And the Junior Blades are able to meander it out to center ice. At the high slot, it's Hertog. Poke check put into play by Gage McNeish. Cameron along the far half wall. Batted behind the cage. Gathering it is Roost. One touch pass to Weston along the near point. West zooming in, and the wrist shot leaves a scuff off of the back glass. A scramble will begin there along the far end boards, and the Blades regroup at the blue line. Hertog with a wrist shot off the body of Zebley, and Zebley is able to stroke it back into the Junior Blade zone. Here's a wholesale edit to the line for the Eels. Rowe along the near point, getting the best of his Court, and Court sliding it for more in the left wing circle. Second chance here does not go, courtesy of Nosov. Well, the Eels there had a 2-on-1, but it quickly fell apart on them. If there's one thing this game has not lacked, it is speed. That one thing was its main consistent. We have a penalty coming up. And the big question is, who will it go against? It is an elbowing call against Easton Moore of the Eels. So the Junior Blades are off to another power play. It is your first infraction of the third period, and it comes at such a crucial part of the game. 3-3 score, 6:09 until this thing is all said and done. Right now you have the Florida Eels elite squad watching the game from the front of their locker rooms. Keep in mind, they will play tonight, 9 o'clock p.m. here at Hertz Arena against the Junior Blades elite squad. So the penalty kill is underway for the Eels. Near half wall, in front, and does it go in? No! Kostelny lies on top of it, right near the goal mouth. And this whistle comes 15 seconds into the power play of the Junior Blades. And it appears that the puck is trapped in the equipment of Kostelny, and he can't find it. The referee says it got caught in his leg, and he's able to free it from his right leg pad. Scoop back up to the far point. Handling is Cameron. Shreds it, right point for Roos. Roos centered back out for Weston, and able to get his tape on it there is Yaxon. No clear could be made as the Eels are now 30 seconds deep into their penalty kill. Roost, right wing circle, dingles a shot in front, and taking it off the face mask is Yaxon. Near half wall, delayed penalty against the Eels. They're about to go to a 5-on-3 on the Junior Blades side. Weston between the rings, wrist shot gloved up by Kostelny, and here we go. It is a slashing call coming up next. Boy, did the Eels have a challenge coming up here, but it's not the first time they've had a challenge tonight. Gage McNeish taking a seat. It's 5-on-3 hockey for the next minute, 12 seconds. 5:21 left in the third, 3-3 score. You have a pair of referees heading over to talk things over with general manager of the Eels, Frank Scarpacci, who is tending the benches for his team tonight, along the head coach, Frank Scarpacci. General manager Frank is the father of the head coach, Frankie. Hertog, right wing circle as the 5-on-3 begins for the Blades. Hertog coming in a little bit closer here. And you have to remember, shaking off a 5-on-3 is a big, daunting challenge. But the Eels did come back earlier from a 3-goal deficit. So they've had a lot of adversity here tonight. And it continues on here. Far side corner for Weston. West with a shot wide across the goal mouth. Recollected by Hertog along the near end of the blue line. Swept it across. Rebounder coming in the low slot from Tristan Roos. And this is a 200-foot dump coming from Reggie Udries. Sorted out to the neutral zone to Holden Hertog. Hertog putting the brakes on for hash marks. And here's a backhanded pass for Tosto. Tosto along the far corner. Scrapes it between the circles for Weston. Weston dropping it back to the far end glass. And from there, it's Tristan Roos. Roos with a sharp angle shot, and he entirely missed the net. 3 seconds left until 5-on-3 goes to 5-on-4. Again, it's a Junior Blades power play. Coming out is Easton Moore from the sin bin. And Eels are down by one man. Still a tied-up hockey game. Exactly 4 minutes to play in the third. As littering it back down in the direction of lava is Cade Swigert. Cade Swigert, a usual forward, playing defense tonight again. Due to shortages on the roster, 23 seconds until the Eels are back to full strength. Batur can't keep it across the blue line near point. And he retrieves it at his own left wing circle. He recoils back behind the net. 10 seconds until 5-on-5 resumes. Rising to his feet in the sin bin is Gage McNeish. One-touch pass for Rozak. Near point, one last chance for the Blades on the 5-on-4. Right wing circle. McNeish out of the box, and this puck goes out of play along the near end boards. So the Eels were able to finish off a 5-on-3. They successfully killed off the pair of penalties Again, one to Moore, one to McNeish. They are both out and onto the ice. Easton Moore taking this draw in front of the Florida Eels benches. It's stymied out in front of the penalty box boards for Kev Toth. Toth rubs it to the right wing corner. Transformed opposing side, and it's Easton Moore behind the cage. Senek helping him out in the scramble against Brody Ormiston. Ormiston still has possession along the goal line. Spread up to the right point. Here it's Yaxon. Rink wide for Udries. Shot save, rebound. Latava lost it, and a goal! The Florida Eels have came back from the 3-goal deficit, and they lead for the first time of the night. Kev Toth slams it home with 2:45 to go in the third. Oh my goodness. The Eels have scored 4 goals here in period number 3. They come out to the locker rooms down 3 goals, and they take the advantage here. Well, Patrick Latava had the puck at the goal mouth, and he lost it in his skates. Kev Toth was waiting along the far post, where he just drove it home. And there is a little bit of an extended stoppage here, with a pair of referees talking things out in front of the scorer's table. The goal is going to count, there's no doubt about that. But the issue is there's an additional penalty coming up against the Blades. Boy, is that a killer for the Junior Blades. Kea Batur taking a seat for 2 minutes. And we'll have to wait for the official public address announcement to see what he got rung up for. But the Junior Blades are down for the first time of the night, 2:40 until this game is done. It's Jared Figueroa. Goal announcement is made now. Again, Kev Toth received the goal. Reggie Udries had the assist. Only one assist coming on the goal for Toth. 30 seconds have been killed off on the Florida Eels power play. Unsportsmanlike conduct is the official verdict on Kea Batur. Slap shot down the rink coming from Cameron. And the puck lies unattended in the near side corner of Jakob Kostelny. 1:55 until the Florida Eels claim victory, but still work to be done. It's a 4-3 score, 1 minute left on the power play. Here is Jake Court. Court swerving onside across the blue line. Trapped in the right wing circle. Here's a blast by Figueroa off of the backboards. Near side goal line, it's TJ Zebley. Racketed for Tosto in front of the Junior Blades benches. And Gage Dill almost gave up a breakaway there for Weston. Dill able to hop back in front, however. Poke checked in the right wing corner. Junior Blades in the enemy zone. And they get men in front. That's Tosto with a shot. And he couldn't pull it off of the right hand. Reggie Udries the other way. Left wing circle to the right side. And a goal! Sealing the deal for the Eels is Reggie Udries. The Eels have scored 5 unanswered. They lead 5-3 in the final 1:04 of the hockey game. What a team effort entirely here in the third from the Eels. After one period, it was 0-0. After 2 periods, it was 3-0 Blades. And here to finish the game in the final minute, it is 5-3 Eels. And you have to remember, the Junior Blades used their timeout at the beginning of the third. So once they gave up the lead, they couldn't get the troops together to draw up a game plan. And that is how they will fall tonight as we head to the last minute of play. Gadet looking to keep it going for the goal! Damid Podrazov rubbing some salt in the wound. It's 6-3. Patrick Latava slams his stick down in disgust as the Eels get revenge, and they will split the 2-game series against the Junior Blades. That is right, folks. 6 goals scored in this third. Just absolutely shocking. And we told you at the start of the third, the Eels came out into the period very confident, fresh out of the locker rooms. There wasn't a look of discouragement at all. If anything, they look cool, calm, collected, and they got the job done tonight. They have a lot to be proud of. It's Weston into the attacking zone, pinballed around into the clutches of Gaudette. Gaudette coming the other way. Right wing circle, Gaudette DeLone Eel in the attacking zone, and he is taken down between 3 different Junior Blades. Junior Blades hanging back in their own zone. Jens Peterson announces the assistant on that final goal of the game. Jens Peterson with a 4-point night. That includes a pair of goals on his side. 7 seconds to go in the game. Junior Blades will let the remainder of the clock roll down. And ladies and gentlemen, that is your hockey game. The Eels enter the third period down 3-0, and they win 6-3, your final score. What an incredible comeback in the final 20 minutes of play. As a result of the victory, the Eels moved to 27-6, 2-1 overall this season. The Junior Blades are 13-19, 3-2. And again, this 2-game weekend series concludes in a split. The Junior Blades took a 5-4 win on Sunday in Fort Myers. The Eels come to opposing ground in Estero tonight and win big with 6 goals in your third period. 6-3. One more time is your final score. Fans, this has been Nick Rush giving you the play-by-play, saying thank you so much for tuning in and for making us a part of your Thursday evening. We'd like to say one last time, thanks so much for listening. Eels back at it Friday, January 24th at the Tampa Bay Juniors, 6:15 p.m. as your puck drop. Junior Blades will have all of next week off. They'll be back Friday, January 31st with a road trip to the Tampa Bay Juniors. But until then, take care, folks. Eels win big tonight, 6-3.